Ozzy Osbourne, famously dubbed the Prince of Darkness, was more than just a rock legend. He was a cultural phenomenon. Known for his wild antics, his groundbreaking music, and his unpredictable public image, Osbourne became the embodiment of rebellion, chaos, and raw passion. From his humble beginnings in Birmingham, England, to the formation of Black Sabbath, his rise to stardom was meteoric. However, beyond the stage theatrics and shock value lay a man driven by a deep love for music and family, and an unbreakable will to perform even as his body began to fail him. In his final years, Osbourne faced numerous health battles, culminating in his emotional final performance and an unforgettable goodbye. This expanded account delves into the complexity of his last moments and the legacy he leaves behind. Health struggles. Parkinson's disease and more diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2019, Osbourne's world shifted dramatically. Parkinson's, a degenerative neurological condition, affects movement and motor skills, progressively robbing individuals of their physical independence. For an artist who lived and breathed the stage, this diagnosis was a severe blow. Ozzy had long dealt with a litany of health issues, including a near-fatal staph infection, multiple spinal surgeries, and chronic pain stemming from decades of onstage injuries and lifestyle excesses. Each illness added a new burden, yet none could break his spirit. Despite his diagnosis, Osbourne refused to retreat from public life. He continued recording music, gave interviews, and even embarked on the early stages of a farewell tour. Fans around the world watched in admiration as he displayed resilience in the face of unrelenting physical decline. The tremors, muscle stiffness, and fatigue became more apparent, but his love for music remained a guiding light. He often credited his fans with keeping him alive, stating that the stage gave him purpose and the strength to persevere. July 5th, 2025. The final concert at Villa Park in Birmingham, the very city where his musical journey began, became the venue for Osbourne's last live performance. The date, July 5th, 2025, will be etched in rock history. The concert was billed as a special event, but few understood its deeper significance until afterward. What made the night even more profound was the unexpected reunion of Black Sabbath, the band that launched heavy metal into the world, and with it, Ozzy's career. As thousands gathered under the night sky, the anticipation was electric. Fans from multiple generations, some who had followed him since the 1970s and others new to his legacy, came together for this historic occasion. From the moment Osbourne appeared on stage, sitting in a chair, visibly weakened, yet unmistakably present, the energy shifted. A man who had once leapt across stages now needed assistance, but his voice, though gravelly and aged, still carried the power and emotion of a seasoned performer. Between songs, Osbourne delivered a heartfelt speech, famously beginning with, "Are you ready? Let the madness begin." These words, once a rallying cry for chaos and fun, now carried the weight of farewell. The performance was not perfect. He paused between songs to rest, sometimes visibly grimacing in pain. But every lyric he sang and every note he delivered was a testament to his determination and undying connection to his fans. The proposal. A family milestone. Among the emotionally charged moments of that evening was a personal milestone for the Osbourne family. Following the concert, while gathered backstage with his family and close friends, Ozzy's daughter was proposed to by her longtime boyfriend. Despite his exhaustion and pain, Ozzy was present for this intimate and heartfelt moment. Witnesses described his face lighting up with a mixture of joy and nostalgia as he embraced his daughter and her fiancé. Though he knew he wouldn't live to see her wedding day, he gave his blessings and expressed his deepest wish, that she live a joyful life filled with love and music. It was a tender side of Ozzy that fans rarely saw, one that underscored how important family was to him amid the chaos of fame. His will and final words. After his death, a handwritten letter revealed that Osbourne had written a will and a series of farewell notes to his family. In one message addressed to his daughter, he expressed regret at not being able to walk her down the aisle. but wrote with pride about her strength and independence. He also left messages for his grandchildren, advising them to stay curious and never let go of their dreams. To his fans, Osbourne left an emotional letter that thanked them for their decades of loyalty. He acknowledged his flaws and wild behavior, but emphasized that he had always been honest, with his music, with his emotions, and with his struggles. "Music kept me alive," he wrote, "and your love gave me strength." Sharon, Jack, and Kelly. The family's role. Throughout his final battle, Ozzy's wife, Sharon Osbourne, remained a constant presence. Their relationship had seen dramatic highs and lows, but it was ultimately defined by unwavering support. Sharon managed his care, ensured he had the best medical attention, and served as his advocate and companion through the darkest hours. Their children, Jack and Kelly Osbourne, also played vital roles. Jack documented some of his father's health struggles in personal video diaries, many of which were later shared in tribute documentaries. Kelly often spoke about her father's humor and how he continued to make her laugh, even in the worst moments. Their unity as a family provided a crucial support system that helped Ozzy find peace in his final days. Friends and bandmates. Remember Ozzy's death sparked an outpouring of tributes from friends, fellow musicians, and fans. Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, longtime friends and bandmates from Black Sabbath, shared emotional tributes, recounting both the turbulent and triumphant times they had spent together. "Ozzy was more than a bandmate," Iommi wrote. "He was a brother. A man who laughed through pain and sang through suffering." Countless rock icons, from James Hetfield of Metallica to Corey Taylor of Slipknot, credited Ozzy with inspiring their careers. They spoke not just of his music, but of his fearlessness, his ability to be unabashedly himself in a world that often demanded conformity. The global reaction. A world in mourning. When the news of Ozzy Osbourne's death was confirmed on July 21, 2025, the world reacted with profound sorrow. He had died peacefully at the age of 76 due to complications related to Parkinson's disease. His passing was not just the loss of a musician, but the closing of a chapter in cultural history. Social media platforms were flooded with tributes. Hashtags like #ThankYouOzzy and Rest in Power Ozzy trended globally. Major cities hosted memorial events, from candlelight vigils in Los Angeles to music tributes in London. Radio stations replayed his greatest hits, and fans gathered at Villa Park to leave flowers, messages, and memorabilia. A legacy that transcends music. Ozzy Osbourne's influence transcends the boundaries of heavy metal. As a pioneer of a genre that gave voice to the disenchanted, the marginalized, and the rebellious, he redefined what it meant to be a rock star. His music addressed war, addiction, alienation, and existential dread, themes that resonated deeply with audiences. But it wasn't just about the music. Ozzy became a household name thanks to the MTV reality show The Osbournes, which aired from 2002 to 2005. The show revealed a different side of him: vulnerable, funny, confused, and deeply human. It was the first time many fans saw him outside his rock persona, and it allowed a new generation to connect with him. Musical achievements, a brief retrospective. With Black Sabbath, Osbourne helped define a new era of sound. Songs like Iron Man, War Pigs, and Paranoid are now considered anthems of metal. His departure from the band in 1979 led to a solo career that produced hits like Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, and No More Tears. Each album pushed creative boundaries and solidified his role as an innovator. Ozzy's collaboration with guitar virtuoso Randy Rhoads, in particular, created a sound that blended classical influences with modern metal, a partnership that produced some of the most iconic riffs in rock history. Even in his later years, he continued to experiment and release music that was relevant, raw, and reflective. Beyond the stage, cultural and social impact, Ozzy Osbourne was not just a performer, he was a symbol. His defiance of norms, his openness about addiction, and his refusal to conform made him a beacon for those who felt different. Despite facing criticism, bans, and moral outrage, he never backed down. His personal struggles, made public through media appearances and interviews, helped reduce stigma around mental health and addiction. Fans admired his honesty about rehab, relapses, and recovery. Osbourne never painted himself as a role model. He simply lived his truth, and in doing so, became one. Conclusion: the undying spirit of a legend. Ozzy Osbourne's journey from a humble upbringing in the industrial heart of Birmingham, England, to becoming one of the most iconic figures in rock history is nothing short of legendary. Born John Michael Osbourne, Ozzy grew up in a working-class family where life was often tough, but his dreams were vivid. It was in those gritty streets that his love for music began to take root, fueled by a passion that would eventually break through every boundary and convention. His rise to fame began with the formation of Black Sabbath in the late 1960s, a band that would not only define heavy metal, but also reshape the entire landscape of rock music. With his haunting vocals, dark lyrics, and unfiltered persona, Ozzy quickly became a symbol of raw, unapologetic self-expression. His music reflected a world of internal struggle and societal unrest, resonating with millions of fans who saw their own pain and rebellion mirrored in his songs. But Ozzy's path was never a straight one. His life was a chaotic symphony of highs and lows, marked by success, excess, and recovery. There were battles with addiction, moments of public controversy, and personal tragedies that would have broken many. Yet through it all, Ozzy remained undeterred. He leaned into the chaos, turning his flaws into fuel for his creativity. Reinventing himself as a solo artist after leaving Black Sabbath, he continued to captivate audiences with albums like Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. Tracks like Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley became anthems for generations of outsiders and dreamers. Despite the madness, there was always clarity in his love for music and his connection to fans. Ozzy was never just performing, he was sharing pieces of his soul. On stage, he was electrifying, unpredictable, and endlessly charismatic. Off stage, he was a devoted family man, deeply human in his struggles and triumphs. His reality TV show, The Osbournes, gave the world a glimpse of the man behind the myth. Vulnerable, funny, and full of heart. In his final years, as his health declined, Ozzy remained defiant. He continued to perform when he could, determined to give fans everything he had left. And when the time finally came for his last concert, he made it count. Surrounded by lights, sound, and the love of fans and family, Ozzy delivered a performance that was both a farewell and a celebration. It was a night charged with emotion, a fitting end to a career built on honesty, rebellion, and relentless spirit. As he passed on, Ozzy found peace in the arms of those he loved. Yet his presence endures. His music still blares from car speakers and headphones. His t-shirts are worn like armor by new generations. His legend is told and retold, not as a tale of destruction, but of transformation. Ozzy Osbourne may have taken his final bow, but his voice will echo through eternity. Raw, wild, and immortal. And through that echo, we'll always hear the call, "Let the madness begin."